The trailer definitely has some pretty interesting stuff in it, but one thing that keeps bugging me is what if the characters are actually not even choosing these different adventures themselves, but instead they got stuck in a loop where they just can't complete an adventure, so they are just getting yeeted into the next one, but nope, they can't complete that one either, and so it keeps repeating, who knows for how long, because it also doesn't seem like Kane would be able to help them. Moreover, it seems like he's the reason for the circus members being stuck in a loop. But there were two frames in the trailer that really got me thinking, and the first one is this one, where we can see the first female president, Pomni, having to disarm a bomb. And what if Pomni is not gonna succeed, and so the whole White House and all the circus members and NPCs or whoever is in there is gonna blow up, and so that is when the adventure resets, but just in a different location. That would also explain why this happened in the trailer. It looks like the characters are coming back from an adventure through the usual portal, but we can see that they are glitching, and it doesn't even seem like they can fully come back. So what if all this means that the adventures just keep looping until, like, I don't know what happens. But this would definitely make sense, because I think at this point it's safe to say that Kane is definitely glitching, and that is causing trouble.
That'd be...
Like, look at the scenes with Kane in the trailer. These are crazy. I can't even predict what is gonna go down with him. But yeah, my guess is the circus members' day will start off as usual, where they gather in the circus, and then Kane, learning from the past day's events, will probably ask the circus members for adventure suggestions. So they come up with different topics, and then they throw it into the suggestion box, and maybe then Kane will choose one adventure and send the gang off. And it sounds normal, nothing out of the ordinary, but maybe things will start to be suspicious, where the circus members arrive to the first destination, complete the adventure, and then nothing happens. There are no banners or fireworks, like they completed the adventure, but instead they get teleported to a new location with a different challenge. And it does look like that maybe with the other adventures they don't even get close to finishing those, cause Kane's corruption is only getting worse. So maybe that is when we'll see the adventures overlapping, and then maybe this is also why we'll see Zubul in this separate location with Kane and Bubble, which kinda looks like the void, or at least there's literally nothing here, so I don't know. But yeah, Kane is definitely corrupted, or the other possibility is that it's not even him, but the ones that are above him, or maybe those controlling him. And yeah, I'm thinking about CNA, but honestly, based on the trailer video, I don't really think that this is the episode we're gonna learn more about them. Maybe this will only set the scene for further exploration about the topic, and what's really going on with Kane, but it's not really gonna get explained here. Because why else would he literally start out the trailer like this?
Oh, thank God you're here! I forgot to make a trailer for the next episode of the amazing digital circus! I need you to handle this one for me, buddy!
And it also kinda makes me think that maybe Bubble could be Kane's replacement. I don't know, but he also acted way more strangely than before, so who knows what is really going on. But we also have to talk about what the never-ending adventures could mean for the circus members, cause oh boy, I think we're not ready for what's coming. For example, there is Zubul, and we are well aware that Zubul doesn't enjoy adventures, and if they have a chance to just not go, they won't go.
Where's Zubul? I made this adventure really cool and mature, just for them!
Now, since we can see them in the different locations, it does seem like they are joining the first adventure, but since the adventures just don't stop, well, they are keep respawning into each location. So we can imagine how fed up Zubul will be when they realize what's happening. But looking at the others, they also seem pretty annoyed and confused, probably because of jumping from one adventure to the other, hoping to finally finish one, but nope, they are now in a bar, and then Pomni has to be the president of the United States. And if that wasn't enough, they will meet their own evil copies. So yeah, it also seems like the adventures are progressively getting worse with each respawn. And by the way, is it just me, or do these adventures look kind of too real, or maybe too humane compared to the previous ones? It kinda looks like the circus members are back in real life and they got the locations from there, but obviously they still have their avatars, so maybe this is Kane's attempt at creating insanely immersive adventures that completely resemble the real life. And the concept for me as a viewer is really exciting, but this could mess with the circus members' heads, and it looks like it definitely will mess with their heads. But this scene between Jax and Ragata, and as I can see Pomni is also there, is probably gonna be the most interesting one, because judging by their expressions and body language, it looks like here is where Ragata is either gonna say something mean to Jax or stand up to him or something like that, because we can see that it takes Jax off guard, and then he also grows kinda mad. And if you ask me, the looping adventures could definitely be the reason reason for the growing tension, especially with these two, where we actually know that the tension was already pretty high between them, so maybe this is where it's finally gonna come out.
Why do you always gotta do this?
What? I just said it was an accident.
Unbelievable. You are unbelievable.
And I'm thinking that Pomni is probably gonna be a sort of mediator between them, but Ragatha and Jax will probably not hold back, and I'm expecting a pretty serious fight between them. Because if you remember back to the out of context lines Gooseworks shared, where Ragatha is gonna say not anymore, and Jax will say I want you dead. Now these are pretty serious things to say, and obviously I'm only guessing that these are gonna be said out loud in the same conversation and context, because if it makes sense, especially seeing this scene. And one more interesting thing is that it kinda looks like this scene is gonna happen on the grounds, which we saw in episode 1 when Kane gave Pomni a tour around the circus, so maybe it's possible that one of the locations they have to go to is there, which would be pretty exciting, especially at night. And it looks like this is gonna be one of the last adventures, and even if Jax and Ragatha won't fight, I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be the scene where they finally open up a bit and talk about their feelings more honestly. But to be honest, I do feel like it's not gonna be that peaceful. And Gooseworks also said that she's apologizing to the Bunny Doll shippers in advance, so something bad will definitely happen between those two, and that would make sense, because as we also know, episode 6 is gonna be even more crazy than this episode, and not in a good sense. And either it's about Kane fully losing control, or the circus members growing more tired and angry, or maybe it's specifically Ragatha and Jax who are gonna have issues in the next episode. We'll have to wait and see, but my guess is all of the above, and that even though episode 5 is supposedly the silly episode, I don't think it's gonna be harmless. Like if the characters are really in a loop and they can't seem to snap out of it, or more like it's Kane who can do his job properly. Well, I think this is a pretty bad situation on its own, and it's definitely gonna have its effect on the group. And we can see that the characters indeed look tired and basically hopeless, especially Jax and Pomni in this bar scene, which it looks like they've had a rough day and asked for a whiskey or something. But yeah, based on how we see Jax and Pomni in this trailer, where they have many shared scenes, I'm thinking that maybe Jax is gonna try to talk to Pomni in this episode, because we already kinda saw how he tried in episode 4 as well. And it seems like now they will also have the opportunity to bond over their situation. And it makes sense why Jax is drawn to Pomni, because she's the newest member who knows the least about Jax, and maybe he thinks that he still has a good shot with Pomni, and maybe this would also be an important factor in this scene, where it looks like he's gonna have a fight with Ragatha. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack, and these are just theories, but honestly, I think they make sense, and I can't wait to finally see how wrong I was about them, and maybe the whole episode is actually gonna be unserious and nothing major will happen. But let me know what you think about the trailer down in the comments, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.